You know, we did a previous podcast on this episode, and thanks to the thousands and thousands of people who've listened to it. But today we're going to be talking about the key part to the episode that has chilled many people for years. And let me tell you something about Catholic guilt. Every time back in the 1970s, somebody pretended to howl like a wolf, or someone in my group of then Catholics would say, "Don't do that. Don't you remember the episode where John Carradine was holding back the devil?" So today we're going to be looking at the Twilight Zone classic, The Howling Man, through John Carradine's performance. Now, he played Brother Jerome in the episode, who bore the staff of truth that was holding back a person he claimed was the devil. Now, a lot of people know John Carradine from Ten Commandments, all the horror movies he did, but a great actor. I met members of his family. His kids have had a tremendous Hollywood career. But the Howling Man, he made the episode work. Now, for the 5 people out there who've never heard of this episode, it has to be seen to believe. It's episode 41 of TZ, the original broadcast. Episode came out November 4th, 1960 on CBS. The episode was based on a short story by Charles Beaumont, who at the time was suffering from early stage Alzheimer's. And it was published in the November 59 issue of Rogue magazine. No one can get that out with the mental strain he was going through at the time is amazing. Now, Rod's opening narration goes this: the prostate form of Mr. David Ellington, scholar, seeker of truth, and regrettably finder of truth, a man who will shortly arise from his exhaustion to confront the problem that has tormented mankind since the beginning of time, a man who was knocked on a door seeking sanctuary and found instead the outer edges of the Twilight Zone. Now, the episode occurs about 1919, and Ellington is looking for shelter because he's on a walking tour. And basically, when he arrives there, he not only seeks sanctuary, he seeks refuge from the big rains and winds that have been chilling him to the bone. Now, the first monk he talks to, or the brother, said he do not allow visitors. After Ellington further begs, the monk goes to speak to a person. He names his brother Jerome, while Ellington waits and hears a wolf-like howl coming from inside the castle. The monk returns, and when asked about the howling, says it is merely the wind. The monk takes Ellington to meet Brother Jerome, the leader of the order. After Ellington explains himself, Brother Jerome announces there is no help to be had here, and that Ellington must leave. Bewildered, Ellington walks out and collapses in the hallway. Now, he meets up with the person in the cell that's allegedly been doing the howling, and he basically says that Brother Jerome and the other mad monks are off their rockers. Now, Ellington basically is asked to be taken back to see Brother Jerome. Jerome agrees to leave, but also threatens to go to the police. Brother Jerome, disturbed by Ellington's threat, then reveals the truth. The prisoner is the devil himself, and can only be contained by Brother Jerome's staff of truth. The devil had come to the village shortly after World War I to corrupt it, but Brother Jerome used the staff to imprison him. These actions have given the world 5 years of relative peace. Ellington pretends to believe the story, but Brother Jerome is not fooled and signs a brother to watch him. Now, Carradine's performance describing what happened is so straightforward that Ellington starts to believe that he's crazy and the guy in the cell has been held there by fanatics. But the way Carradine plays it, at the first, you don't know if he's cracked or you don't know if he's real. And it's all put together in the last few scenes, which I don't want to get it away, but you can pretty well figure out Brother Jerome is right. Now, the idea about John Carradine should have got a Emmy for sure for the performance, and for the 7 minutes or so he's on the screen. It's so structured. Now, later on, the Emmys decided to give guest actors in comedy and TV series recognition. But I think what the Academy should do is go back and look at the classic era after Kinescope of what they call the black and white to tape or black and white live decade. Supporting characters, Carradine had a great performance. Now, when he showed up at Night Gallery on A Big Surprise, where he played that creepy farmer who basically freaked out Timothy Van Patten, said if you dig in there, you'll get a big surprise. 2 different completely performances. But we were growing up, we knew John Carradine could hit it out of the park when it came to these types of characterizations. And I consider him one of the most underrated actors of his generation, because every time you saw John Carradine, no matter what he's playing, and like I said, in the Ten Commandments, he didn't look like John Carradine, but that voice, he was a voice of doom and a voice of something was going to happen, as we say. Now, the Howling Man was shown on national TV in Canada this week. City TV is keeping Twilight Zone in syndication late night as part of an adjunct to the writer's strike, because some shows they could show have been delayed. But my God, it's the unedited episode of Twilight Zone. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody who's scared of the devil or scared of retribution for having a bad life. It can scare the living shit out of you, because the scenes of Ellington's friend in the cell when he gets out, not going to give it away, but you can figure it out. It's pretty freaky. It looks like he almost took a stroke when the person in the cell thanked him by putting a pal on him. So again, the episode of Howling Man, 5 out of oh. I really think that Monster Chiller Horror Theater, Joe Flaherty may have got the idea for the episode. Oh, from the episode for Monster Chiller Horror Theater. It has to be. Why would a vampire howl like a wolf unless he's the devil? So again, if you have a chance, watch the episode, but turn the lights down. Watch it during the middle of a rainstorm, especially a cold rainstorm in November like we had this week, and you'll get your money's worth. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you like what we're doing with our Twilight Zone podcast, let us know with a like, comment, subscribe, or share. If you're a John Carradine fan, tell us your favorite John Carradine performance. And I'd like to see retroactive Emmys. Tell me what you think about that as well. Thanks for listening. Bye.